This is Terrence Archer Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions coming to you again about pensions, unfunded government liabilities, and our ticking time bomb. Reading from an article here from realclearpolitics.com. I'll put the link inside the description as always. Again, I can't stress enough about pensions and the unfunded liabilities. This is the biggest crisis in our lifetime because so many people are dependent on it. We're not talking about this is your family members, and I can't stress this enough. Tick, tick, time. Tick goes the time bomb of national doom. Every second the ticking grows louder, but you won't hear the muffled sound that's more akin to white noise. Across all media platforms, the threat goes largely unreported. Perhaps the consequences are unfathomable to discuss in 90-second news segments sandwiched between commercial breaks and panels of talking heads. Members of Congress from both parties are also deaf to the ticking. Inherently, they know that an attempt to defuse the bomb means they run the risk of being voted out of office. You know, you got some new people came into the office now from the new wave, and I heard even one of the politicians talked about funding Medicare, taxing the rich. But it just sometimes cracks me up because I don't know where the money is going to keep coming from when they're even talking about these different programs. I kind of digress here because the main issue that no one keeps talking about is the pensions. And this article is doing a good job of relaying that. The same is true at White House, where Donald Trump, like Barack Obama here, never mentions this impending catastrophe. Among the hordes of 2020 Democrat candidates, count on the time bomb to be a topic non grata, while Medicare for All gains momentum and Medicare remains a lethal bomb component. The doom of which I speak is unfunded liabilities. 122 trillion payments that government owes and has promised its citizens without the funds to fulfill those obligations. According to the Treasury Department, total U.S. unfunded liability includes Social Security, along with Medicare Parts A, B, and D, federal debt held by the public, plus federal employee and veteran benefits. Before you call me an alarmist, I refer you to the U.S. debt clock. It gives a link here. And you can watch in real time our tick bomb in real time with the 122 trillion unfunded liabilities as one of the major fuses. I encourage you to take a look at that. I'm not going to do it here, but the numbers are just staggering. Surely such an incomprehensible number makes you gasp, but now get ready to gag because in 2023, the debt clock time machine projects unfunded liabilities will be 157 trillion, a 35 trillion increase in only 4 years. I would wager that a majority of citizens have no concept of what just 1 trillion looks like or even means. For the record, 1 trillion is 1,000 times 1 billion, and since 1 billion is thrown around in Washington like a round error, it is instructive to remember that 1 billion itself is 1,000 times 1 million. Thus, to hammer home the wow factor, today the payments promised to the U.S. are 122 trillion due to the debt clock's ticking numbers. I use zeros as placeholders. To better understand why unfunded liabilities constitute the least discussed underreported national crisis we face, that 122 trillion must be compared to other significant numbers in the U.S. economy. For example, the debt clock displays federal tax revenue at 3.3 trillion. Again, I'm not showing that debt clock here. You can do it by clicking on the link inside this article, which I'm going to put inside the description. But spending at 4.2 trillion. This annual imbalance means that not only are we promising too much down the road, we can't cover our current costs and we fall behind even more. Every second of every day. I'll repeat that again. This annual imbalance means that not only we're promising too much down the road, we can't cover our current costs, and we fall behind even more, every second of the every day. And with the world being as such, especially in America, expecting such astronomical things and not understanding economics and not understanding the dire straits that we face, and as a whole, they'll keep asking and promising and not even come to the conclusion, how is this going to be paid? This conundrum is reflected in the rising national public debt, defined on the debt clock as the face amount or principal amount of marketable and non-marketable securities currently outstanding, which today stands at 21.9 trillion. But in 2023, the debt clock projects the national debt will increase to 25.6 trillion. Certainly, the United States is a generous nation that wants to take care of its people, 1/4 of whom are aging baby boomers retiring at the rate of 10,000 a day. Baby boomers are retiring 10,000 a day, but our nation is on an unsustainable economic path, especially when the government presents and future obligations are mandated by law. Consider that in fiscal 2018, healthcare spending was 27% of the federal budget, and pensions, including Social Security, was 25%. Combine that 52% of the budget will continue to grow along with an aging population. Meanwhile, there are no efforts in Congress to alter this stop. Meanwhile, there are no efforts in Congress to alter this reckless path, one that severely limits the extent to which we can afford to invest in our collective national future. At least the Congressional Budget Office was honest when its 2000 report stated the prospect of large and growing debt poses a substantial risk for the nation and presents policymakers with significant challenges. Sorry, they got so many different advertising here, it jumps around a little bit. Those substantial risks and significant challenges, now too politically painful to address and resolve, are baked into the debt bomb and scheduled to explode sooner than you think. As reported last June, Medicare's hospital trust fund is expected to run out of money in 2026. Oh no, so that politician was promising Medicare for all is going to run out of money in 2026. And even if you tax them, the rich, which she's proposing, by 70%, it still won't cover a tenth of that, of what they're going to need to fund this particular bill. Hey, 2020 candidates must sure to mention that this one, they're flacking Medicare for all. They agree with what I just stated there. Furthermore, in our annual Social Security statements, in small print with an asterisk, we are warned that by 2034, payroll taxes collected will be enough to pay only 77% of scheduled benefits. Preceding that line, one reason most absurd political wishful thinking, your estimated benefits are based on current law. Congress has made changes to the law in the past and can do so at any time. Sure, they will, any time now. Reducing security benefits, the main driver of unfunded liabilities, would be painful now, but even more painful in 2034 when President inaction forces draconian cuts. Cue the wheelchair walker riots. We all know the adage, the first step is in solving a problem is admitting that you have a problem. Unfortunately, our elected leaders refuse to publicly admit that our national future is built on financial promises and obligations that our government is incapable of fulfilling. My recommendation is to aim for increased public awareness. At this moment, a government shutdown clock appears continuously on a major cable network. When that crisis ends, what if every news network continuously display the 122 trillion unfunded liabilities debt clock, all 15 digits rapidly ticking in real time at the same corner of the screen? Perhaps then, when the public is fully aware of the problem, our leaders will be forced to in discussing very tough and real solutions followed by legislation action. But doing nothing is not an option. I just can't stress this enough. This article did a very good job of covering everything. And I'm just going to scroll up to get that debt clock. And I'll end it with that to see, you can see in real time where we're at. Hopefully it pulls it up there. Look at this. 21 trillion here. Personal debt, mortgage debt, and the clock is just ticking every second. I tell you. Where was he getting his numbers from here? Okay, U.S. unfunded liabilities is, look at this. He said at 122 trillion, just rounding, but it's higher than that. It's growing every day. We pay attention. I think I'm gonna do. It's gonna be another article I'm gonna probably do about debt itself, because we tend to just kind of glance over this because the numbers become astronomical. The truth is, society functions with this debt paradigm that eventually it's going to come to an end. If this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments, and to my next video, get prepared, and I'm out.